Greetings, YouTube. Danny Staten here on the Daily Dan blog. Today I'm taking a look at Chuck Norris, Karate Commandos. Number 2. This comic book was sent to me by my real good friend, Dave Sunstorm. That's right, YouTube. My good friend, Dave Sunstorm. Over at the Good Stuff, he sent me some really cool Rewind magazines featuring the Partridge Family in the Holiday Edition, and it's even got this one real cool one, got my man Ed Asner on here. You know, I'm a real big Ed Asner fan. Hell, I got Ed Asner on my wall. It's true. As Kurt said, it's damn true. And I want to thank Dave Sunstorm for sending me some Rewind magazines and this really cool Chuck Norris comic book. That's right, he sent me Chuck Norris and the Karate Commandos from 1987. It's a number 2. Chuck Norris Karate Commandos was based on a cartoon TV series from 1986 and 1987.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris, man of action. Chuck Norris stars in Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Chuck Norris, he's got nerves of steel and strength to match. Chuck Norris with his team, Pepper.
It's too dangerous, Chuck. What?
Too much.
Too much.
Kimo, the samurai warrior. Apprentice. Tabe, the sumo champion. With Chuck Norris, they battle the sinister forces of the Claw.
Remember this.
And the ruthless Super Ninja.
Finish Norris!
Chuck Norris stars in Chuck Norris Karate Commandos.
Well, YouTube, I hope that one don't get me a freaking copyright claim. You know how that goes on YouTube. Well, anyway, let's take on up here and take a look at this Chuck Norris comic book, Karate Commandos, number 2 from 1987. Shall we open it up? Shall we? Oh, YouTube, I'm digging this. Inside the front cover, you get some Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble action in Raiders of the Fruity Pebbles, Raiders of the Lost Ark, a parrot ripoff featuring Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble. And I already like this comic book because it's got the old comic book pages, the ones that don't glare and gloss and blind that eyes. As Chuck Norris comes walking down the pier and everybody's saying, "Who is that tough guy walking down the pier?" And just Chuck kind of, if he had an ass thing around, he didn't have a mustache and had a scarf on, wouldn't he? Remind you of a muscled up Fred from Scooby-Doo. Well, anyway, there goes Chuck walking down the pier acting all tough. And literally the first few panels of this comic book is just Chuck walking on down the pier, passing by some guy selling shrimp, giving him a wink, and walking on down the pier, and everybody wondering, who is this tough guy? Oh, Chuck walks his ass up into the bar. He's seeing what's going on. He's got his little undercover agent up in there, I think, yeah. I don't remember all these guys' names from that cartoon show that I showed you earlier, though. Anyway, Chuck walks into the bar and everything, and he's talking about trying to sell some stolen stuff, but I don't think the guys in the bar are buying his Chuck Norris line of bullshit. No, it just worked out like I figured. They're not buying it. You ain't selling stolen stuff. You an undercover cop, and they jump on Chuck's ass. And then Chuck does that big thing that looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme. And he just whooped the shit out of all these people up here in the bar. One guy even pulls a knife with it. He pulled a little knife that looked like something that MacGyver would have, like a Swiss Army knife, and Chuck gonna take that away from him. And then we get a commercial. Oh yeah, we do, with some Spider-Man and Captain Crunch and well, whatever. Spider-Man and Captain Crunch, a cartoon right in the middle of this here Chuck Norris comic book, and I don't even get that. And then the bar fight spills outside the bar, knocking signs down and stuff, all onto the pier. These guys grab some 2x4s and try that crap with Chuck. Yeah, it don't work out good as Chuck just kicks the crap out of everybody and knocks them in the water. And that'd be a good time to throw in that laser tag commercial. You remember laser tag? I used to play this game back when I was a kid. Yeah, you had this little vest that would go beep, beep, beep if you got laser tagged. And then my friends would run around and shoot each other. We used to do it with BB guns when people kept getting hurt, so they decided to get us the laser tag stuff. So in full, wonderful looking, great art, detailed panels, brought to you by the Daddy Dan blog, we carry on with the story. And Chuck Norris is whooping the crap out of everybody here. He's about to get a hold of Kenny's dad. Oh, Kenny's dad's in trouble. So Kenny's dad got kicked off into the water too. So then Chuck Norris walked over to this little guy and said, hey, dude, I could use some shrimp. I'm hungry. What? That's right. This guy sells food. So Chuck Norris is going to go over there and whip out the big wallet, throw a bunch of yen on this boy to buy him some shrimp from this little dude. And this little dude kind of works for him, I think. So they like buddies. Hey, YouTube, on the next page, check this out. It's a Gumby adventure for 4 little panels right there, and you can order the Gumby and Pokey Fun kit, and I know everybody wanted to order that. Well, everybody wanted to order that back today. I was not one of the people who ordered that back in the day. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, Chuck Norris's Karate Commando guys is walking the freaking dog and having some damn ice cream. When one of the little girls, I forget her name, she says, oh, look at them, they walking the dog and having some ice cream. Gee whiz. What? Why is she all upset that they walking the dog and having some ice cream? She thinks they ought to be doing something else. She thinks this is terrible. And then you get the commercial that gave me diabetes. I swear to God, you get a commercial for some Baker's chocolate. Boy, I used to eat the fuck out of Baker's chocolate. No, I got blood sugar so high I have to take medicine. Well, I guess that explains that. So the other members of the Karate Commandos are hanging out back at the hotel. Now, I don't know if this guy looks more like Peter Parker or more like Archie. Well, anyway, Archie and Veronica here, part of the Karate Commandos, are having an argument back at the hotel. I guess they're supposed to be, they look more like brother and sister, but I guess they're supposed to be like husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. Or maybe they just look a little too much alike to be husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm hoping they're brother and sister. Hell, it's a Karate Commando comic book with Chuck Norris. They may be both. So after leaving Veronica, Archie over here runs into Betty, about knocks her down. She's all crying, thinking something weird's going on. She can't understand why the big samurai guys are walking the dog. I don't know. That's all they showed. They go into her little story, and she's telling her little story, and what the hell? That's right, YouTube. You're reading this shit right. This bitch is all upset because somebody kidnapped her freaking computer. Boy, 1987 was interesting. I didn't even know they had home computers in 1987. For some chick to be all upset because her computer machine is kidnapped. Oh my God.
Sold separately.
Location Tibet. Assignment recover stolen microchip. Protecting it was Super Ninja. Hi-ya! First, Timo stood up to him. Hi-ya! And was down. Then Reed Smith flew in. Hi-ya! And was grounded. But now it's his karate against mine. Hi-ya!
Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Chuck Norris, Super Ninja, Reed Smith, Timo, and other figures sold separately. New from Kenner.
You know, there are people in the world who believe that violence is the answer to every problem. They're always the first ones to clench a fist or throw a punch. They think they always have to fight. The gang and I ran into the Claw and some of his more nasty friends while we were transporting a state-of-the-art robot on what turned out to be a terror train.
So in full panels, brought to you by the Danny Dan blog, we carry on with this Chuck Norris Karate Commandos tale from 1987. Back at the hotel, Veronica and the dog's all hanging out, but then she hears something scratching at the door, and a bunch of bad guys dressed like ninjas break in, and a well-endowed karate fight starts out. I have to give credit where credit's due. Thank you, Dave. The art in this book really is somewhat appealing. I can't believe you got off of it. I would have kept a Chuck Norris comic book myself. Anyway, the ninjas break in, and goddamn, ninjas done moved up in the world. They toting a gun. They pull one on Veronica, and then Chuck walk in looking all like Fred and talking about what's going on and where's Veronica and stuff. And they don't know what's going on in the other room, apparently, as they're having a meeting of the Karate Commandos over in room 7. And apparently it's just me, but does nobody give a damn about Veronica's ass because nobody's mentioned her or brought her up or anything? She's just missing. They all worried about Peter Parker's feelings and talking about some girl. I need to help this girl because her computer got kidnapped, and they're all talking about that and getting on the case. They would go take the dog out and make Wolfgang here. That looks like a friend of mine's dog he used to have, and it looks quite vicious like his dog used to be. Hell, I think that sucker even had a red collar. Anyway, Chuck Norris, dressed like a hippie from the '60s, is giving the dog the computer scent. I don't know, the computer scent? Maybe the girl disappeared. Maybe they tracking her down. I doubt that computer's got a scent. Maybe they did realize she was gone somewhere between this panel and that panel, which they don't mention. I don't know. Okay, here's the shocker. This bitch Betty here turned out to be the bad girl. She working with them. She got darn helped kidnap what's her face Veronica over here. And now they're trying to get the information out of them. The whole missing computer machine thing must have been a ploy just to get her in with the guys. And then we get a commercial for Adidas. Adidas is astronauts. I guess that's a damn shoe, right? I guess you have to get Chumley off Pawn Stars to let you know whether that's a damn shoe or not. I'm thinking it's a shoe because it's Adidas. And they're what? It's really good footwear? I don't know. I never had a damn astronaut shoe. Anyway, this dog is the super dog tracker of the year. It's tracking them on down. He done found out where they hiding up in the hotel room. He come to the door with a gun, but it don't do no good because he brought a fat-ass samurai with him. And they taking out the bad guys, and we about to have us a SmackDown, a WWE main event when Chuck Norris and the Karate Commandos take on the Ninjas. And then you get a commercial for Newton's Fruit and Chewy Mix-Up. What the hell? That's just fucking horrible. Oh, the comic books back in 1987 did everything it could to make you have to take insulin in 2007. There you go, brothers. And info panels brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog. The fight breaks out with the Ninja Army versus the Karate Commandos, and everybody's fighting, and they're busting it up, and it's one big super brawl. Chuck shows up dressed like a hippie from the '60s. He's ready to party, and he's rocking and rolling, and he's kicking the shit out of everybody. Don't you just love this comic book? This is one of the better ones I've had a chance to look through. And of course, you know exactly what every young, intelligent mind needs. You need to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons, and you could order everything you needed to know to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons right here in this comic book back in 1987. I got bad news for you, Dungeons and Dragons. You didn't have to teach me nothing in 1987. I was already playing in 1978. It was a thing where I lived. Yeah, it was. So they kicking the ninja's ass, and they having big fights, and the dog is taking people out, and they rolling on, and they looking for the kidnapped chick, but she's been moved to another room in the back or something, but they're starting to feel all funky in here. Oh, wild. And then we get some star signals, letters from fans, and I'll do it like this. And if you want to pause it and read this stuff, you'll be able to. Look at that really cool commercial for Zodes down there at the bottom with some Doctor Who action on the side. Oh, there must be some really cool stickers you could buy back in the day. And I'll do the same thing up here, side by side. You can read all these little, I guess, where people wrote in kind of things or something. It's thanking people and shit. Look, it's a little autograph from Tom D, whoever the fuck he was. Oh, anyway, she's trying to pull that, and then she's gonna flip, bust somebody over the head. She turns out to be a double agent. She was a good guy, pretending to be a bad guy, but really being a good guy. I don't know. That's some confusing stuff going on in this comic book. Really, it is. But everything worked out good for Chuck Norris and them Karate Commandos. And it looks like we're going to wrap this story up with a little bit of exposition as they explain the double cross, she was a double agent and stuff, and look, she gonna like him, and he didn't know, and ain't everything sweet. I guess they were brother and sister after all, because he actually winds up with the other girl. So there you go, the brother and sister. I guess they like the Wonder Twins. You see, I kind of figured that when they dressed alike and had the same color hair, didn't you? And anyway, we get a commercial for Reach for a Star. I don't know. That's what. No, I remember this. I got it. It was like Star Comics promotions back in the day where they said, reach for a star. You could choose like their Star Wars comics, their Gummy Bear commercials, their Garfield, or their Thundercats, or their He-Man. They even had a fucking wacky Spider-Man thing going on back in the day. I actually got a few Star Comics somewhere. Maybe one day I'll have to get to them. And in the back, you get this wonderful little thing where you can order issues of other comic books that are out there in the world back in 1987. And on the back cover, you get a commercial for more candy, for some M&Ms, because of the insulin shots wasn't enough. They wanted to make sure you were in the hospital with little tubes in every arm. And on the back cover, just for Dave, the worst damn thing since Miss Beasley. This has to be the most fucked up thing I ever saw in my life. Dave, oh my God, did you send me this comic book on kind of this creepy looking thing on the back cover? So that's my look at Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, a Star comic book. And by the way, this is the first Star comic book I think I've ever done on the Daddy Damn blog. It's a number 2. From 1987, and it was sent to me by my real good friend, Dave Sunstorm. And you can find my friend Dave Sunstorm right here on YouTube. Be sure to check him out. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell from me and Dave. Be sure to watch me on my next video. Be sure to let me know in comments below what you thought about Chuck Norris and his Karate Commandos. And until next time, this is Daddy Staten on the Daddy Dan blog. Send blog over, dudes. Blog over.